After eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, God tells Eve that she will give birth to a child in pain. Eve, the first human to give birth, experiences extreme fear. According to the apocryphal Book of Moses, Eve experiences extreme pain while giving birth to her first son. Angels appear and help her give birth. Adam says, "With the help of the Lord, I have gotten a male child." After giving birth to Cain, Eve gives birth to a second son, Abel. From the Bible, we already know the ending. The first son, Cain, kills his brother Abel. What really happened to Cain and Abel? Cain is a farmer who cultivates the land, and Abel is a shepherd who herds sheep. The ground is already cursed because of the incident with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Cursed is the ground because of you. In all the days of your life, you will eat of its produce in toil. Cain monopolizes his parents' love, but when Abel is born, their attention fades. Cain is told to take care of his younger brother, Abel. Because he is the firstborn, he is forced to do hard labor on a cursed land. Cain has been tilling the ground all day. His brother Abel, who shepherds sheep, doesn't seem to have much trouble. Today is a day of sacrifice to God. God accepts Abel's offering, but not Cain's offering. God sees the hearts of Abel and Cain as they prepare their offerings. Cain cannot offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving to a holy God. Cain's unconscious mind is already filled with complaints about the lack of love. Who is the offering to? It is an offering to the holy God. In the time of Moses, the priests, descendants of Aaron, the first high priest, were all killed without exception if they offered an impious sacrifice. But for Cain, the first human being to offer a sacrifice to the gods, the God only admonished him, "You are not doing what is good. You must abstain from sin." But in a fit of jealousy, Cain takes his brother Abel out into the field and kills him. God asks Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" Cain replies, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" Cain gets rather angry and spits out his pent-up anger. The ego that was in Adam and Eve's bodies when they ate the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was growing out of control in Cain's body. God says, "You will be cursed in the ground. You will be a shunned and wandering person on the ground." Only then does Cain plead with God to spare his life. "If I do not see the face of the Lord, everyone who sees me will want to kill me." Cain is never remorseful. He is only concerned about his own safety. Do humans feel remorse after committing a sin? Do they even appear to be remorseful? Do they genuinely ask for forgiveness for their wrongdoings? Very few people change. That's because the ego whispers closer than God. God says this, "Whoever kills Cain will be punished sevenfold." And he gives Cain a protective sign that Cain's life is in God's hands. Why didn't God let people hurt Cain? Isn't God just? We must be careful. We must not interpret and judge the holy God according to our own minds. At that moment, the ego takes the place of God. Did Cain live miserably after that? Cain builds a city and names it Enoch after his son, Cain's descendant Lamech, who initiates polygamy and is known for his song of the sword, is much more violent. "Because of my sores I have killed a man. I killed a boy because of my wound." If the punishment for Cain was sevenfold, the punishment for Lamech is 77 times as much. On the surface, it looks like Cain and his descendants live well. I once wondered why the wicked do so well. In Bartholomew's Apocrypha, when Jesus descended into hell after his crucifixion and before his resurrection to save the souls of the dead, he left Judas, who betrayed Jesus, Herod, who killed John the Baptist, and Cain, who killed Abel, in hell. Yes, Cain was evil and deserved to be punished, but the catharsis of seeing the wicked's miserable end is fleeting. Let's look at God's deeper will. It wasn't for Cain's sake that God didn't allow people to take revenge on him. Revenge traps us in a terrifying cycle of cause and effect. Cain and his descendants are already children of the ego, not children of God. Lamech also talks about revenge, but his heart is always restless. His heart is already in hellfire. There are always bad guys around. If you believe in a holy God and are convinced in this short life, leave the disposition of those bad guys to God. We only need to do what is good in God's eyes and be blessed by God. Are you uncomfortable with your relationship with your siblings? The first topic in Genesis is the murder of a brother. Siblings can be good allies in life, or they can be enemies. If you're experiencing serious conflict with your siblings, don't worry, take heart. Serious conflict between siblings has been around since the beginning of time. Recognize that it's the primal human ego and leave it to God. Conversely, if you have a good relationship with a sibling that's good in God's eyes, may you be blessed in your daily life. Amen.